Hello, thank you so much for coming to this video today. I really appreciate it. This is my Cardano weekly recap. I take all of the information that you've missed in the last week in Cardano and I sum it up into one video. This one's going to be real quick. We're going to be going over two important topics today. The first one I'm really excited about. Institutions are choosing Cardano. In 1 week, Cardano was chosen by institutional investors over Bitcoin and Ethereum. I'm going to be giving you guys those details and talking more about that in this video right after this intro. And also a recent update from SundaeSwap about their ISO. If you guys are interested in SundaeSwap, make sure you stay till the end of this video because I have a very, very important update about SundaeSwap, specifically with their ISO, which I know is what many of you are excited for SundaeSwap. So yeah, if you guys want to support the channel, the best way you can do so is just by liking this video, commenting down below, and sharing it. Clicking the notification bell, clicking all. Pushing these Cardano videos out to the wider cryptocurrency community does expose a lot of new people to Cardano, and I really appreciate it when you guys do that. Another way is by delegating to Bloom. We have Bloom through Bloom 6. We were actually the 8th ever block on top of the Cardano blockchain minted by Stakepool. So we've been here from the beginning, and we'll be here till your end and my end. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this video. It's going to be a good one. I also want to say the schedule for this week, it's a little bit different. It's a busy week. We're going to be doing a watch party, and they're going to be releasing information about Goguen information that we've never heard before about Alonzo. So please tune into this channel at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to be doing a watch party. I'm going to come in, explain what we're going to be going over. Tomorrow, I'm going to be doing a podcast that's going to be uploaded with World Mobile. So Wednesday, World Mobile. Thursday, it's going to be the watch party. And then Friday, we're going to be doing a watch party recap, so the Goguen recap. So please, it's a busy week for Cardano, and I could appreciate your support with the algo. And I hope you guys enjoy these videos this week. It's going to be a long week. I'm really excited to share this with you today. So last week, you probably heard of Elon Musk and what he said. It might have been 2 weeks ago, but you heard what Elon Musk said specifically about Bitcoin. He was spreading some FUD. He was saying that Bitcoin is not environmentally friendly. Mining uses too much energy. And we're not here to have that argument. Obviously, Bitcoin uses more energy than Cardano. And that's what this is about. Because when Elon released that, he changed Bitcoin's story. Right? I've been realizing that, investing, a lot of it is stories, right? People are investing in the stories, what things could be. You're just speculating. And it changed Bitcoin's story, right? It changed Bitcoin from the store value, this to actually pointing out a significant problem with Bitcoin. It is the energy consumption. And, the story then becomes investing in cryptocurrency. Well, there are others. If Bitcoin's too energy efficient, then maybe it's not all about Bitcoin. What are other blockchains that are energy efficient, that can do the same for less, right? And obviously Cardano, is a blockchain that is significantly more efficient than Bitcoin per transaction. And this is where this comes from. So Cardano sees the largest weekly inflows from institutional managers, and this is from CoinShares. So who is CoinShares? CoinShare Group is a pioneer in digital asset investing, and their team actually launched the first regulated Bitcoin fund in 2014, and it's based securities on a regulated exchange in 2015. So they are pioneers in this space. That's very early on, and to have it be regulated is truly incredible. So I do trust their word on this. And they mentioned the environmental FUD concerning Bitcoin seems to be everywhere these days, and it's enticing more investors to look for proof of stake projects. And obviously, when you're looking to proof of stake projects, Cardano is just that. Right, ETH 2.0, it's very hard to achieve, and it's not coming anytime soon. So institutional inflows into Cardano's ADA investment products rose sharply last week, even as interest in Bitcoin and Ether waned, highlighting the growth of proof-of-stake assets amid the latest wave of environmental FUD in the markets. Institutional investment managers bought $10 million worth of ADA projects for the week ending on Monday. According to CoinShares, Cardano investment funds attracted more capital than any other digital asset. And that's the important part. 10 million might not be much in the grand scheme of things, but it highlights what we've all been thinking, the story about Bitcoin changing, looking for other cryptocurrencies, because there's a story that Bitcoin's going to be around forever. Bitcoin's here to stay. And why would we upgrade? We can just build layer 2 on top of it. We can do all these other things. And I think this is showing, and what Elon Musk said is showing a shift in the narrative when it comes to investing in cryptocurrency. And I'm happy to see it. I think we'll see more of this, shortly. So by comparison, Bitcoin funds saw an outflow of 110 million during the same week. Ether outflows totaled 12 million. Investors poured 5.5 million into Polkadot funds and 7.1 million into multi-asset investment products. And year-to-date, Cardano investment products have drawn 24 million in institutional assets compared to 4.3 billion for Bitcoin and 924 million for Ether, right? But in that 1 week, Cardano saw an inflow of 10 million, while Bitcoin saw an outflow of, I think it was 110 million during the same week, right? So as people are selling Bitcoin, removing Bitcoin, and, there's a big sell-off, Cardano actually, had 10 million of inflows. That's a pretty big deal. And they just talk about the crash, and ADA was, as you guys know, ADA was among the top performing cryptos before the market tanked last week and after. A lot of people are complaining about the price, but I mean, we're over 600% just this year. Bitcoin fell from almost 60,000 down to 30, and Cardano is at $1.50. $1.50 is higher than we were a month ago, and Bitcoin is lower substantially. I mean, you can just rate Satoshi's. This is the start to that narrative shifting. What do you guys think of this? Let me know down below. Do you think the narrative is going to start shifting towards Cardano? Will Bitcoin always reign supreme, or are we going for number one? Are we going for number one with the mycelium? With the mycelium. All right, well, let's go. Next part of the video, SundaeSwap. I know that's why you guys. So it's very important for me to update you guys on SundaeSwap. SundaeSwap came in my podcast. I know a lot of you are interested in it, and they released a very important update. It's about the initial stake offering that they're doing, and they've had a change of heart. So to kind of recap with you guys, a few days ago, they announced that they hired someone else to run their stake pool. And I brought this up on the AMA, so I don't want to go deep into it. If you want to know what I feel about SundaeSwap, my opinion, and you also want to get, some information for yourself, I've done a podcast with them in the past. I'll put the link to that podcast down below. Also, the AMA that I uploaded yesterday, I spoke in depth for about 15 minutes about what I think of SundaeSwap, the risks, the pros, the cons, etc. So I'm not going to be really giving my opinion in this video. Maybe I'll give my opinion about the update, but not about SundaeSwap in general. You'll have to tune into the AMA from yesterday for that. Also the AMA for last week. Also watch the podcast for your own opinion. But they hired, essentially a contractor. It's the people that make ADA pools, Cardanians, to run their stake pool for them. And a lot of people in the community had the opinion of, if you guys are going to build a decentralized finance product on top of the Cardano blockchain, why are you outsourcing, one of the most simple tasks of your project? Because to actually do, a big, large-scale DeFi project, specifically on Cardano, you have to interact with the software that the node runs on, the stake pools run on. It's called Cardano-Node, because, you're writing these smart contracts, and the smart contracts are sent through the node, and the node is running on the software called Cardano-Node. So essentially all they would have to do is take one of the nodes that they already know how to build and, use stake pool keys for it, leader keys, and make that node a leader node in the network. And if they already know how to build a DeFi protocol, or if they plan to, why can't they just run a stake pool? It's a simple task relative to the monumentous task that they're taking on with the platform. And this is their response to that. So one of the things that has been central to our vision with SundaeSwap is bringing ethics and trust to the table. Our community is just as important to us, and the inputs and insights you have given us over the last few days have led us to take a hard look at our launch plans and have prompted us to make some changes. The first thing that we are announcing is that we will delay the ISO, and this is the initial stake offering, the release of their stake pool. The updated timeline will be shared on June 1st. We in our community became incredibly excited about the opportunity that ISO provides. It's an excellent vehicle to involve our community and disperse Sunday tokens responsibly. That energy and momentum, along with our enthusiasm to hit the road running and our confidence in the infrastructure we've built, carried us to execute on this idea at a blistering pace. So I don't really see where our confidence in the infrastructure we've built, they weren't building any infrastructure, they were just launching a stake pool, right? So there was really no confidence in the infrastructure they built. They were releasing a stake pool and they had someone else to do it for them. So, and I'm not spreading FUD, so if you guys want to invest in it, go for it, man. It's your choice, but there has been no infrastructure built yet. There hasn't, because they don't have the ability to, and that's okay. But it's important that you guys know that there is no infrastructure being built. The Plutus testnet isn't out yet. You can learn Plutus, which was what you'll be able to write these smart contracts in, but there's no Plutus testnet to test these things. So it's not the fault of Sundae, but it's important for you guys to know that there hasn't been infrastructure built. Two important areas that we've received feedback on are the amount of detail we've shared on the business model our stake pool will fund, and our choice to bring in a third-party stake pool operator, as I talked about earlier. To that second concern, let me zoom in a little bit for you guys. I'm sorry for not doing that earlier. To the second concern, we want to clarify that we were and still are, should we decide to change the operation back, prepared to launch a stake pool ourselves, and even had one running on the testnet before we announced the ISO under the ticker SNS. So what they're stating is, there's a testnet that goes on where you can test out things. It's not the Plutus testnet, but is a stake pool testnet. You can build a stake pool up, make sure you know what you're doing, make sure it's running correctly before you go mainnet. And what they're stating here is they had one running on the testnet, but then they just decided to not go through with it. So when that third party approached us, we saw it as a great opportunity to offload the small operation burden and invite a reliable stake pool operator from the community into the process as a watchdog and whistleblower. We had overlooked an alternative angle that some respected members in the Cardano community highlighted, and it shined a spotlight on some issues that we had been wrestling with in the leadership team as well. And a few of the people that actually announced that, they were reputable members. Sebastian, who used to work for Emergo, he built mostly Yoroi. His blood, sweat, and tears are in Yoroi. And also Marek. Marek was one of the first tokens. He was one of the first stake pools. He was the first person to launch what's it called? I'm blanking, but what Hydra is going to be, data on top of the blockchain. I don't know why I blank so hard on that, but we have overlooked, or no, we already read that part. This brings us to the first point of the concern mentioned above. There is confusion around how the proceeds of the ISO will be used. And we don't have the foundation materials in place to explain the project you are getting involved in. With the respect we hold for sources of these criticisms, we ultimately made the decision to take a step back, tighten our belts, and get our ducks in a row and reapproach the ISO from a more solid footing. We're preparing today's announcement with some exciting news over the next few weeks. An AMA with the founders, and this is going to be on May 25th. I think that's actually today. So that's today. That's interesting. That's a nice update. And then expanded leadership team. The response of SundaeSwap has been amazing. We've been working hard to expand our team to bring the right skills to bear. We're proud to be able to announce new additions to the leadership team. And then technical papers. This is a big one. I've been bringing up over and over again that the only thing that SundaeSwap has on their site is how they're going to take your money. The only infrastructure they've built is, how they're going to take your money. And, this is their response to that. Technical papers. We're going to be releasing a series of white papers exploring different technical aspects of the platform we are building, and the first one is coming within the next week. We're deeply committed and incredibly excited about the concept of an ISO and the opportunity it provides for our community engagement in a responsible way. We're taking time to incorporate your feedback, and we'll have an exact timeline for you on June 1st. We know that many of you are excited about the ISO model. Ultimately, a change in plans comes with disappointment. However, we feel the path is the healthiest for our community. As we approach the updated date for the ISO, we believe that a more solid foundation will make it all the more trustworthy and exciting, something that everyone can feel good about. So this is a good thing. This is a good thing because I felt like, because the stake pool was initially going to launch, I think it was today, very soon, today or tomorrow, and I didn't think it was a good idea because their pool was going to saturate right away, and all the people that delegated to them weren't going to earn the right amount of ADA that they would have normally earned because they're in a saturated pool, and because you're trading your ADA for the Sundae tokens, and they set the price at 8 cents, you're getting less Sundae tokens, not only because the price is lower, but also because you're earning less ADA because the pool's saturated, right? So they didn't take a step back on the third party running the stake pool, though. It seems that they will still have the Cardanians run their stake pool, so they'll be outsourcing that, but they are going to take some time, to release a proposal. Another one of my issues was the fact that they're going to be earning, I did the math at a different price point. So I want to say it was around $2, but they were going to be earning $100,000 every 5 days from their pool. And that was just one pool. And that pool was obviously going to saturate. And their incentive is to open up a second pool and to make another $100,000 every 5 days. So, a lot of people's, approach was, well, what's the incentive to actually build the protocol? What's the incentive? The incentive really is just to open up more pools, because you're not going to make as much money from the protocol as you would from these pools, right? And they haven't talked about, how much money they need, how many epochs they're going to be open. Are they going to be open indefinitely? They have not released this plan, this budget plan. And this is their response to that today, right? So we just need more information from them. I'm not going to give much more of my opinion. I feel like I've made it pretty clear to this point, but I do think on their part, this was a good move. This was the move in the right direction. So hopefully, as more details come out, you and I can all feel safer, about SundaeSwap. And even though I'm skeptical, I really wish them the best. I do. They've been bringing a lot of new users into Cardano, and that's always a good thing. They come up with a new model, ISO. Very interesting idea, very cool. And I wish anyone building and bringing value to Cardano the best of luck, and I hope Sundae kicks ass. And I think this was a step in the right direction. But if you guys made it till the end of the video, please type in SundaeSwap down below in the chat. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys did, please like it. Consider sharing it to a friend. It really does help me out. Consider delegating to Bloom. Please tune into the podcast tomorrow. Watch Party Thursday. It's going to be a good week. It's going to be a good week. It's going to be a long week, but a good one. But thank you guys so much. I love you all for tuning in. Have a good rest of your week.